Whatever the occasion, effortless elegance is right this way. Because Hilton brings you new ways to stay courtesy of the Nomad London. And it doesn't stop at award-winning dining in a space draped in velvet and illuminated by vintage chandeliers. No, this day goes beyond with unparalleled personalized service and attentive hospitality. Oh, and did we mention the Nomad London can be booked using your Hilton Honors points at Hilton.com? Hilton, for the stay.
This episode is sponsored by Friskies, who would like to tell your cats hi. Now, if that didn't get your cat's attention, there is one thing that always does the trick. Just pour some Friskies crunchy food in the bowl and you'll hear those paws come running. Works every time. With so many Friskies choices, you can always bring your cats running from their secret napping spots. There's always more to explore. See for yourself at friskies.com or visit your local store.
I think we want different things, and I don't think you're being honest with us about what you want.
And I agree with Andrew. I think we've been committed. We've shown up for you. We love your family.
Over again.
And I just think now is the time, and I don't know what you're waiting for.
We should take this to the next
I'm not waiting for anything,
level.
but to me, it's very pedestrian that you need this ceremony to prove to other people that this is real, when I know it's real between us. And that is all that matters, you guys. It's performative what you guys are asking for, and I'm frankly sick of it.
It's a performance that I need.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it sounds a little avoidant. I'm going to tell you right now, Andrew, this is a typical millennial man who is always looking for the next best thing around the corner. That's what happens. He thinks
The next best thing around the corner, you mean like this episode of Advice Fight?
and then I'm in love with you again.
But I'm still not doing a wedding. Hello and welcome to Advice Fight, your favorite competitive advice podcast. My name is Adam Caton-Holland.
My name is Ben Roy.
And I'm Andrew Orvidal.
And this is a podcast where we, genuinely offer advice to our listeners, but more importantly, we determine who is the best at giving advice that particular episode.
And it may be the first of its kind ever to do such things.
Don't bother checking, it is.
Did you check? Because we always joke about how this might be the first of its kind, but we're not sure.
What the fuck does it matter? What am I going to fact check? We've already talked about this, Adam. That doesn't fucking matter anymore. No one's looking for facts.
Right. We're post-facts. We're post-truth.
Also, where do you find facts? Because you can't find them on Google anymore. You're going to get an AI overview. So good luck.
Go, dude. DuckDuckGo's got all the facts. It's the new Bing. You can't miss with it. It's the truth.
I really legitimately don't have any argument with that, Adam. I think you're being 100% factual.
I always am. I always am. Just like I'm telling you the straight truth when I tell you we've got a great letter today from a listener.
You are so dialed in with these segues today. My goodness.
In a relationship, feels like it might be time to, maybe get married, make some sort of commitment. However, their partner is not on the same page, and they've turned to us, the boys of Advice Fight, the hot boys of Advice Fight.
Today's
to figure out how
letter
to navigate this.
I don't want to say today's letter triggered me, but it is certainly a conversation
Andrew,
I've experienced both ways.
You all
both
right,
ways.
What's going on?
What triggered you, bub? What triggered you?
No, it didn't.
Andrew,
I
what's going on
specifically
today?
said it didn't.
Let's talk about it.
Did you hear that squeak? Did you hear that squeak in the background, Andrew? Did you hear the sound of my chair scuffing as I turned it around and I sat backwards in it? Because I'm listening.
Hold on. Hold on. Let me tell you a second. Hey, Rebecca, will you hold all my calls? I need to talk to Andrew about something he's triggered by.
I specifically said I wasn't triggered.
Okay,
but this
Rebecca
is a conversation.
said you got the hour because you're my dear pal. What's up, buddy?
Wow. Thanks, dude. Thanks. No, these big conversations with somebody who you're in a relationship with, like you all haven't been been part of those where they're like, what are we doing here? Where are we going? Where are we driving this relationship mobile to?
Oh, absolutely.
And yeah, I've been on both sides of the conversation, but more often than not, I'm on the side who is having the conversation as kind of a surprise. You're just sitting there.
You're on the side of the guy whose fingernails are scraping the wood of the banister as your feet are being pulled out the front door. That guy.
Boy,
Interesting.
Adam, I guess I'd never noticed.
Specific.
You're clinging to a piece of wood and your fingernails are dragging, marks in the wood.
I've never noticed this before, Adam, but you are a true romantic.
All my houses have banisters in my metaphors.
And they're all clawed to shit.
It's just
human claw marks.
It's just cool to see the romance that you are capable of emanating. You know what I mean? You really are. It's just a bard. You're a bard.
Thank you.
The way you write and the way you think.
That's why I dress the way I do as well.
I see why your wife
gigantic
swooned over
poofy
you.
Pillow hat with all of the peacock feathers in it.
Andrew, is there a specific example of like when you remember?
There's honestly, it is that conversation of like, so, do you want to get married? Because you have the prelim conversation when you're starting to date, and it's like, so you want kids? You want, do you believe in marriage? And you kind of check those boxes, but then they get revisited in X amount of time in the relationship. When someone is like, I don't think we're going towards what I want to go toward. And so, you have this conversation, and then it usually ends with it's usually the guy being like, no. I want that. Yeah, I do want that. I do want that. And then they have some excuses. I know for me in the past, the excuses were a lot of times it'd be like financial excuses of like, oh, just not in the best situation right now, things like that. But you've never been in a conversation like that?
Who are you asking, Andrew?
You, both of you.
What's really crazy about Andrew, what Andrew just did to you and I, Ben, is he responded initially like, "Oh my God, I'm triggered. I got something," and then he went.
I specifically said I wasn't triggered.
Vaguest nonsense. Because he's so fucked up about it, he won't even talk about the specific instance that clearly is on the tip of his fucking brain.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with you, Adam. I truly believe he's trying to protect a situation or someone.
And what
I don't want to get into my advice. I also don't want to get into my advice at all.
You're not getting into your advice if you just tell us what fucking happened, you fucking little douchebag. I just don't like him.
I don't like him either. Andrew, will you take a knee for 5 minutes while Ben and I spill some personal confessions?
Thank God.
Adam, tip the tea, please. Spill it.
Yeah. Well, you might remember back in the day, someone named Christina Aguilera. I call her Xtina. She wanted to get married, and I said, "Xtina, I'm not into it for that. I'm just here for the sex."
See, here I was kind of, at least I was telling a real.
She said,
yours was at least somewhat real.
She said, "Thank you because you're saving us both time." And I said, "The sex has been great, and I wish you the best in your career, Xtina, but I don't want to get married."
Yours
Great, Adam,
was
thanks.
sort of real. So now I'm like, Adam is doing the actual avoidant thing. Like
I dated Xtina from 2000 to 2002. I think everyone knows that.
Ben, have you ever been sat down for one of these convos?
Yes.
Or have you been the person that sat them down?
I bet Ben sits him down and says, I need all of you right now.
No. You're talking to...
But then he's on his phone. I need you present here with me.
Oh, my God.
Hang on 1 second.
Oh, my God. If my ex-wife is listening to this right now, she literally just fell out of her chair.
She unsubscribed a long time ago. But...
No, not really. She called me the piss king the other day when I talked to her.
Why do you keep bringing up that you like to do piss stuff sexually? Why is it an issue that you keep bringing up?
I didn't bring it up. I said that she called me that, and that's because of you two idiot ass.
I mean, if there's any reason to listen to this podcast, it's to arm your ex-wife with a new nickname for you.
Ben, go ahead and tell us an example.
of piss
Ben,
fight that you
go
enjoyed?
ahead. You be personal. I will. I've definitely been sat down, especially since I've been dating. I've been sat down and had the conversation where it's like,
steered by the arm
Yeah.
into a chair.
Hey, Ben, why don't you come over here and take a seat?
Basically, I've had a few of like, what are we doing? What is this? And I definitely have some avoidant tendencies. And then there have been a couple situations where I've been fully invested and I've wanted to move forward. And I've had that conversation where I've said, I really care about you. I want to make this work. And they had issues with parts of my life, as I'm sure you guys can totally understand. This is not the easiest lifestyle to love someone through. You can like the person a lot and care about them, but being gone, hate their comedy, hate their stand-up,
and their music,
hate their music, hate their friends. But you have a great connection,
martial arts obsession,
and so you try to make that. I try to make that work, and then it doesn't work.
Yeah, it's always hard. Like with Katie, I respected it when we first started dating. She's like, I want to get married. I want to have kids. Like that is a goal of mine, not necessarily with you, but that is my goal. So I'm not like, I'm at that point in life. And
if you don't want that, hook me up.
Right. If you got any friends, Ben or Andrew, they're so talented. But it wasn't the smoothest sailing from there, but I very much, we got to that place and I appreciate knowing it up front. And I think that's probably what a lot of relationships go through is like where the person says, I need X, Y, and Z. They start having the relationship. And then there comes to a point where X, Y, and Z, it's like, oh, I need those. So are we doing this or not? And I think that might be where our letter writer is exactly.
For sure. I think
I can read the letter. We can get all the particulars here now.
Yeah. But I just wanted to say, I agree with Adam. And I think now I was married and with somebody for so long. And I was admittedly sort of, even though I was married, I was like, do I really want to be married? Am I cut out for this?
Am I marriage material?
Yes.
Yeah. And sometimes people change over time. I was like not into marriage for a long time, but then I did eventually get married. People, they change their attitudes about things, stuff like that.
Yeah. I think for myself, I was definitely for especially after I divorced for a bit, I wasn't as interested or ready to be in something committed, but I definitely have started to feel like the amount of time, 4 years now that I've been doing the single thing and getting that out of my system. I think I'm definitely ready to start.
Your spring is over?
Are we getting an advice fight scoop that Ben wants to
Ben's
get married
ready to
today?
tie
I don't want to get
the
married
knot.
today.
You
No,
heard it
that's not
here
what I meant.
first. No other pods got the scoop. Ben is
heard
ready
it.
for marriage.
He's ready for
Today.
serious
I didn't think I said
relationships
that. I think
that
I
will
just said
end
that.
So
in a
if you are out there
marriage.
and you're ready for
The right
marriage,
situation.
guess
a little
who's also ready?
bit. No, I didn't.
Ben.
I didn't say
The
that.
next
Literally
person-
anyone.
Look at me.
The
in
next
Only
person who
one
dates
criteria.
Ben should be ready to be married to
Pee
him.
on me and like to be peed on.
Producer Ron's so mad. I didn't bring that back. I just mentioned
You did. You mentioned it, and that's all it takes to activate us.
Yeah, it doesn't
just
require
jackals.
a lot.
Mm-hmm. Well, you
A
throw
little-
like a meat covered bone down in the feeding pit. You don't think we're gonna come out for it? Come on,
Oh,
get the
yeah.
fuck out of here. Anyway,
Andrew,
Get
why don't
ready
you
to
read us
marry
this letter,
Ben.
buddy?
yeah, let me read this letter. Okay, here we go. This is from an anonymous listener, and just keep that in mind. If you want to send us advice, you can also remain anonymous. Here we go. I've been in a decade-long relationship that doesn't seem to be inching toward the traditional milestones that I want.
Ben, a
Marriage,
decade is
kids,
10 years.
etc. Thank you.
Thank you. I was wondering what that was.
And traditional means like the status quo. It means kind of like
decade
what
was a
society
EDM
considers
club on
normal.
Broadway.
Yeah.
Um,
And traditional means no piss stuff.
Yes. So this wouldn't be for you, Ben. Anytime I've inquired about it, my partner says it's not the right time. We love each other. We live together, but we're stalemates. I like what they did there. Since all of you guys have been married and have kids, I thought you might know when the right time is to marry or go fish. Go fish is that's the most brutal usage of the term
real.
go fish I've ever heard in my life. Imagine being served your divorce papers by a guy that just goes, go fish.
Also, stalemates. What a good play on soulmates.
Oh, I love
but
it. Soulmates, stalemates.
Clever letter writer. Anybody would be lucky to have you. I don't know what this asshole's.
This feels like we're getting a letter from Mel Robbins herself. I'll let her be. Go ahead.
We can help this person because that's
Was that
what
the
we're
end
here
of the
for.
letter?
That's the end of the letter. They no sugary sign off.
Well, I was lost. I was like,
Actually,
where's the
they
praising
ended
us?
the letter with a heart emoji. Sorry, I should have said that.
I mean, that's
We did get a heart emoji.
Listen, they got to go fish. They got the stalemates. They don't have to fucking give us a sincerely or whatever. I love their letter.
Yeah. And
we're gonna
by
help
modern
this person.
standards, the heart emoji is about as genuine a signature as you'll ever get. So we appreciate it.
I end all correspondence with ... It confuses
Ooh,
the
I like
shit out of
it.
people.
Yeah. Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
And then I leave it looking like it's typing for so long, but it's not. I'm not writing another text.
I always close every correspondence I do with, well, that's enough of that. That's how I end everything.
Please start. I love it.
It's sassy and I like it.
Well, that's enough of that.
That's enough of Act 1. We are going to take a break. You're going to listen to some commercials unless you're a Patreon member, in which case you will just skip right to the good stuff. Join our Patreon. There's a lot of good stuff over there. You can do that in the show notes. We will be back after the break, ready to help this letter writer.
Stay tuned.
This episode is brought to you by Nespresso and Samra Origins by the Weekend Coffee Collection.
Introducing Samra Origins. My collaboration with Nespresso is a connection to my roots, to my mother, Samra. Coffee that hits the right notes. It transports you. Crafted with unique notes and bold, soaring flavors. Experience a taste that moves you. Nespresso and Samra Origins.
Discover more at Nespresso.com.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back to Advice Fight. Thank you for being here, everyone. Just to recap people that only jumped to Act 2, we have a letter from a listener who's been in a decade-long relationship. They're ready for some more major milestones, marriage, kids, etc. Their partner keeps telling them it's not the right time. How do you know when to just keep going with this thing, or to jump off this terrible plane flight midair with a fucking parachute?
You all missed just now because you're probably not watching this. You missed Andrew Pitt checking himself, giving himself a little armpit smell.
How does
just
it
to
smell, Andrew, for the listeners?
Smells good.
Going into
Smells
a
good.
relationship episode,
Yeah.
want to make sure you smell good, don't you?
100%.
bud? Yeah.
Best
definitely.
foot forward every time.
Yep. And actually, pungent BO Andrew has. So I don't blame him for checking that. He was probably like, is my furnace out or is that my armpit? Can't tell if something went bad in the fridge.
Yeah. I
Or
usually
if
light
that's-
a match under there. We'll see what happens.
Is the pilot light out? You look
Blow
like
my-
you were
blow my
blowing the
apartment up.
pilot light out on your armpit. All right.
On Advice Fight, we'd love to help our listeners. I think it's why Jesus Christ put us on the planet. But another big part of this podcast is who's the best at giving advice, who wins every episode. So while we do want to help this person,
me usually.
while we do want to help this person more than anything, we would like to win. And last episode, Andrew, yes, you are correct. You won last episode.
By the way, guys,
did.
I want to just interject. I'm a God guy, not a Jesus guy.
Really?
Oh wow!
Yeah,
You're a happy holidays, not a
Mhm.
Merry Christmas.
No, I'm not a Jesus guy. I don't side with the kid. I think he's acting like a petulant little child.
So another shorthand way of saying that is that you're a hell guy.
Yes. Oh yeah. I put them all down there. I say, put them all down there like God sort them out. I think isn't that the bumper sticker? Send them to hell and like God's sort. Adam, you were saying.
I was saying that Andrew won the last episode, which means that Andrew not only gets to go last, he also gets to choose the order that Ben and I will give advice.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Yeah.
And choose wisely, Andrew. Choose wisely.
There's been some shakeups. Now there's this belief that going first isn't the best. That used to be the widespread belief. Things are changing.
I also don't believe that last is the worst place, Andrew. I think we started it that way, where the winner has to be sort of punished for
last
winning.
Is always the worst because somebody could scoop your advice. If you have unique advice, you can get scooped.
That is a fear. But one could say that going last allows the other two to go into battle and potentially be killed by the question, see no laughs come forth, and then you are left with the best possible answer. There
could be the case.
There are subtleties.
That's what makes that's the dimensions of this show,
of this podcast,
the richness.
And that's why it's the #1 podcast.
What's important to me is which one of you doesn't want to go first, which is what I need to know.
I'd like to
make
go first.
My decision.
You think I'm scared?
Then it'll be Adam.
Scared. I'm not scared.
And it'll
at
be
all.
Adam. Adam can go first. Ben, I'll go second.
Oh, yes, I didn't want to go first.
God damn it! I fell for it yet again.
Yes, I know you
Adam,
do it every
you have
time.
3 minutes. When you hit the 2-minute mark, you're going to hear this sound. Mm-hmm. Classic. And that means wrap it up.
Yeah, that means you only got a minute left, of course. Then at the end, we're going to vote for a winner. You can't vote for yourself. Adam, climb into the octagon. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to lock you in here.
You guys mind if I stretch a little bit? If I limber
no
up,
stretching.
Get the quads, get the hand
You should have done that in your own time.
Nope.
Fuck. Okay, I'm going to pull something, but whatever.
You're going to tear every goddamn tendon in your
My
body.
ACL. My ACL. Fuck.
Could you imagine like a fighting organization that you had to come into it totally cold?
Cold.
You had to go eat at a dinner, like get up, eat, and then just go straight to fighting, no stretching at all.
I mean, that is how I used to play high school sports. It's like, what? Chipotle burrito an hour before the game? No stretch? Let's do it. Like,
right.
Couldn't care less.
You're fucking hobbled now, dude.
True that.
It'd be funny to tear your ACL giving advice. Why are you in that boot? Oh, advice, competitive advice. Wow.
Doctor says I'm in it for 2.5 years because I'm 44.
All right, Adam, you are set to go. Here we go on the count of 3. 3, 2, 1. Advice.
Okay, letter writer. The essence of your question, as I see it, is how do I know when it's time to either stay in this or get out? And I've just got to tell you, it's time. You're writing a letter to 3 dipshits on the
Scientist dipshits.
Excuse me, that's Dr. Dipshit to you.
Asking us, do you think it's time after a decade, which has been just learned is 10 years? Do you think it's time that this person maybe give me the things that I want? Yeah, I really do. I really fucking do. You're at the point where you're like asking other people to help you, to guide you. You don't need to ask anyone else. The fact that you're asking others is the answer. You're done. And you need to tell this person, look, I've tried, and I've told you what I needed, and you keep saying it's not the right time. Well, it's been 10 years. When is it going to be the right time? If you haven't been able to find the right time in 10 years, you're not capable of finding the right time. So I'm calling your bluff right now, partner. And if it's not the right time for you right now to give me a engaged or we can get married next year, some sort of like concrete promise that you're still in this and willing to give me the things that I need, then you need to get out, because I think life is too short to be with a partner who is not going to give you what you need and who is maybe stalling because they're not there. And it's hard because you love each other, But hey, happiness is hard, right? You got to go out and work for it. Happiness is hard.
That's what the mug says.
And you're thinking that I mean difficult. No. I mean rock hard.
There it is. I knew he was in there. I knew he was.
It only took him 2 minutes to get there. That's not
Happiness is when you're erect. And you need to ask yourself, does this partner actually or, symbolically make you erect? And if they don't, because they're not giving you the things you need, the marriage, the kids, then you got to say, shit or get off the pot. Shit or get off the pot. And so, letter writer, in conclusion, it is time to call your partner's bluff. Have the hard conversation that Andrew wouldn't specifically talk about earlier in the episode right now. And if they don't give you the answer that you need, get out of this relationship. I'm done.
All right. Okay.
All right. So Adam has told the person without any real knowledge about the intricacies of their relationship or anything to just get out of the relationship now.
Yeah, but then he walked it back. He walked him back into the exact problem that they're in, where it was like, unless they give you this concrete promise. First of all, there's no such thing as a concrete promise. A promise is just words. The most strident promise in the world is still easily
action.
Broken.
Action.
It's
promise.
It's what?
Action is a promise. That's the most strident action, like promise you can have, is somebody doing it. Just
I think I know
do
what you're
it.
talking about. Okay.
You get what I'm
That's
saying?
what I was saying. That's exactly
you
what I was
said
saying.
that happiness is
But you walked them right back into them saying, "Oh yeah, no, that is what I want. That is what I want. Yeah, next May, we're gonna do it." This person's right back in the washing machine.
No. You know the spirit of what I was saying. I was giving our letter writer an option of saying, like, okay, if they give you this promise, now you can stay. But like then they did. Yeah, I'm trying to help them not just sever it as severely as I was saying. I was saying demand some sort of concrete action was what I was saying.
Demand concrete action.
Demand concrete action.
Yes.
Hell yeah. This is like a Pantera lyrics or something. That's pretty fucking
Demand concrete action.
It is cool. You're right. Sounds like Pantera lyrics because it is fucking cool.
See,
are you talking to me?
demand
No way, punk.
action.
You guys are just bolstering my
We're
argument.
getting engaged.
Yes. All the best
We're getting
advice. Sounds
pregnant.
cool. Yes.
I'm demanding concrete action.
Action, punk.
I want to see this room concrete action.
I agree with
I
everything
want
you're
to see
saying.
you engaged next month.
This is kind of funny. Open this wedding up. Let's go.
Well, we're
Ron.
getting
I'm
the
not
moving along
closing
from
this
Ron,
up.
which means
Oh, no,
that the
Ron
riff was
wasn't
just
doing
getting
the wrapping
fun.
it up.
Okay.
He was saying circle pit.
That's right. He was circle
He was
pitting.
giving us the circle pit.
Yeah, he was the guitar behind him. Like, let's get this.
Let's get this rolling in a circle.
I want to see all you newlyweds in the fucking pit.
Dude, can you imagine? That's the new wedding.
I mean, we're heading in that direction.
The bride's just got blood pouring down her face, down into the fucking
her nose is broken.
We're about to open this bar up. Anyway, all right.
Well, we had a little bit of fun. Ben, it's your turn.
Okay.
You've got 3 minutes. 3, 2, 1. Advice.
First of all, I'd like to say that when I put someone in the Toctagon, I give a little more fanfare to it. I shut the door. I make it a big to-do
your ass
as
in
if
there.
a show is happening, but no one seems to care about that anymore. They just want to get right down to the business. Of course, Adam gave you some advice that, to me, what it ends up happening is, writer, you end up out on your duff. Okay? That's your butt. Okay? You're going to end up out on your duff because you're going to present that and then you're not going to have a backup plan. See, a lot of people don't understand that a lot of the reason why people don't get out of relationships is a financial dependency. They both are working together. They're living together. You know, they're contributing to bills. It's really hard to leave.
Yeah, you're right. Then stay in it forever.
No.
Good
That's
call.
not what I'm saying. I'm saying you have got to, you have got to present what you need to this person, okay? An ultimatum, if you will. But 2, you have to have an exit strategy that's going to allow you optimal financial gain from this. So here's what I'm presenting to you, listener. You need to get on the show, The Ultimatum. It is a Netflix show that is on there where they take two people that are, it's Nick Lachey and whatever his wife's name, no one knows or cares. And I don't even know why she's famous other than being Nick Lachey's wife. Let's be honest. But anyway.
Can I guess that her name's LaToya Lachey?
No, I don't think that's what it is.
All right, just a guess. Go ahead,
I think it's Christina Lachey, maybe. I don't know.
Anyway, let's not throw stones. Ben, who would you murder to host The Ultimatum on Netflix?
Nick Lachey. I think that's obvious.
It was right there. Right?
Vanessa Lachey. Thank you, producer Ron, for doing a little bit of back scoop on that. Now, here's what happens. You go on the show. You give him the ultimatum. If he doesn't want it, bingo, bango, you're in a living situation for the next 6 weeks of filming with a bunch of other horny co-eds. Okay. These are people who are ready to move and shake. These are software engineers hopped up on mezcal, ready to fuck. And that's where you're at now. He has to worry, or your partner, I don't know who this is. Your partner now has to worry. Are you going to fuck the software developer from Philadelphia who couldn't get their partner to commit? Will they or won't they? And then after that, you could choose to take a little bit of the heel route, and you're going to make a lot of money off the show if you choose to be truly unlikable on the show, because there's a lot you can do on social media. And before you know it, you're selling cosmetics, you're selling all kinds of clothes. I just want you to think further beyond the ultimatum. Okay. And that's all I'm saying. Diversify your ultimatum. Thank you so much, Benjamin Roy. And that's all I have to wait. No, what was my sign off? Give me my sign off before. Hold on.
Well, that's enough of that.
No. Well, that's enough of that.
I think it's that. That's what it was.
Hey, that's enough of that.
This show is brought to you by The Ultimatum. Catch it all spring on Netflix, hosted by Nick and Vanessa Lachey.
Your ultimatum.
Nice.
Now, it doesn't feel as right. It doesn't.
Diversify.
I really think that if you're going to do this, go 21st century and just put yourself out there.
Okay.
Do the whole thing on
get on a reality
television.
TV show.
If you can't get on the reality television show, let me just add a caveat.
No, you're out
to
of
that.
time.
No, I'm not.
You're out of time.
There's no
caveats.
adding anything.
No,
What
it's
kind
not
of
a
show do you
caveat.
think this is?
It's basically
You just have
the same.
unlimited
This is the
time?
caveat?
Yeah, you
No,
think they're
Nick
giving
Lachey
people
hosts
bonus
that.
time on The Ultimatum?
This is
no.
the caveat of advice podcast, which means it's the expensive, nice version. It's the fish eggs.
That's
you
the
put,
no, Ben.
okay.
you
God
put
damn
on
it.
crackers. Have you ever had caveat?
so dumb.
It is so salty. It's like I thought that
Where is this caveat from?
The funniest part
Remember when
about
we
this
had-
riff is that Ben's had caviar.
I did. I had it at a those who can't thing. When we were
Out of those
True
who can't
TV
think.
backed caviar.
Out of
we had
those who
caviar
can't
at an
think.
event, and I remember that, and I was like, "This is good."
I think that was the first time I ever had caviar too.
Yeah, we
And
had
the
great-
last. Yeah,
I liked. You didn't like it
it's fine. No, it's fine.
anyway.
I just didn't have it again.
My final caviar to that would be you could do
No.
it just on
Strike
social
this from
media,
the
Instagram,
record.
do it in bite-sized reels, things that can be clipped. Thank you.
Oh my God, pathetic.
And that's about enough of that.
I think you keep fucking up your send off.
I don't
And
remember it. That's always been my problem with like catchphrases is I
Catchphrases.
forget them.
Yeah, that is kind of the
Major.
number one thing you need with a catchphrase.
Major issue.
Like if
They're not called
the cable
dredge
guy
from the
kept
memory bank
forgetting it, and he was like,
catchphrases.
"Get her finished." No, it's. But I'm wearing a "Get her done" shirt. He keeps
Get her
changing.
finished.
Get him done.
It's like
Damn it.
It's the iPhone version of like catchphrases where you're always no. That was version 1.0. of
Get her
that.
did.
All right,
right.
Ben, you have given your advice, and we have heard your advice.
I think it's the
Contractual
most-
obligation fulfilled.
Mhm.
Andrew.
3 minutes of showtime spent irretrievably. Life consumed. Thank you.
Andrew, it is your turn to climb
Yeah.
into the octagon. As usual, we'll play your
I'm going to
music
do a
and you
running
can wear your robe.
cartwheel in. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we already said that you're going to have to make all the audio sounds because Ron's doing no post work today.
Well, there's no
So-
sound for my running cartwheel. It's just
it's
just
silent?
silent, like a
Wow.
ninja. Yeah.
Very
You
cool.
just have
Let's-
to envision it.
If
Okay,
you
then,
don't
hold
think
on.
your cartwheel would be you getting basically to one arm and crumpling onto your head, and then just
Yeah, it'd be so bad. There's absolutely no way I can turn a cartwheel.
The sound, throw a skeleton down a staircase, and that's what it'll sound like.
No, throw some pizza dough on that skeleton first, then throw it down the staircase.
All right, Andrew, you're in the octagon now.
No, I want to allow for 2 seconds to let the listener imagine Andrew's perfect stealth, silent cartwheel into the octagon. And he's in.
Yeah.
3, 2.
Oh, I'm dizzy
One.
from standing up.
Advice.
As somebody, as I said, who's been on both ends of this conversation, but usually I'm the one being sat down in the chair. I'm the one being maybe surprised by the conversation, who has shoved it off several times already. There's like one of two things that's probably happening. The first is that your partner really does want these things, but they are kind of trapped by the societal beliefs that, you know, these things are prohibitively expensive. And in some ways that's true. Having a kid is fucking expensive. A traditional wedding is fucking expensive. But it doesn't mean they have to be. I got married on my bicycle in a drive-through in Las Vegas. It costs like $50. Like there's some shortcuts if you want to get creative. Shut up.
Yeah, it's just the sad stories don't stop.
No, it was great.
Never
It was
stop.
the best way to get married that we could think of.
Did
and
you
it
ride
was
your
fun.
bicycles all the way to Vegas? Is that how you got
No.
there? Or did you
Yeah,
bring them
from
on the
LA?
airplane?
No.
Or did you rent
put 'em in the
bicycles
car.
when you're there?
We put them in the car. We drove there.
That
Don't eat up my time with these stupid questions.
Okay.
Anyway, there are creative solutions to these things, but your partner, that's the first thing that could be going on. Your partner could genuinely want these things, but they keep pushing them off because they do seem like big, either expensive or life-changing events, which in the case of a kid, yeah, that is going to change your life and it is expensive. Or the second thing that could be happening, which is also super common, and I know I've been this person, is that they don't want to take that next step of commitment. They don't
Yeah.
want to.
Agreed.
They don't want to get married or have a kid because that, in many ways, will lock up the relationship. But here's the thing: you, as the other person in this relationship, you have control of these things too. Seize the reins. You want to get married? Propose to your partner. Get engaged. This is the modern age. You don't have to sit around and wait for them to propose to you. It's time to get married. Propose. You want to have a kid? Sabotage the birth control.
Oh.
You know what? Get into the cabinet. Start taking Tic Tacs instead of the pill. Boom. You've got a kid on the way. Surprise. You just did it. You took control of your own life. And now maybe you're married. Maybe you have a kid on the way, but you're not sitting around waiting for any more empty promises. I'm done.
So, Andrew, let me just be clear here.
I think you got it. You got it.
All right. No, I just wanted to make sure. But
I do like to picture Andrew opening his cabinet, and it is just a doomsday prepper's amount of Tic Tacs.
Yes.
Just thousands of
and
boxes.
Andrew
of Tic
doesn't
Tacs in
understand
Fresh
how
breath in the
birth
apocalypse.
control
That's a
works.
currency. That's a currency.
Andrew doesn't understand that it's the woman who has to take the fake birth control. And
I don't know the gender identity of our letter writer, so I was trying to make it more general.
No,
You know
I
what?
get it. I get what you were doing. It's just weird advice to try to sneak a child in to a relationship to hold it together. And while I
Oh no, you can leave the relationship after you get the kid. You just
that's
got,
right. The
you know,
courts will
yeah.
kind of handle that. That is actually good proof. I mean, you
And
side.
single parenthood, fun and easy.
Yeah,
Adam,
totally.
you've outrun 3 families now.
Yeah, 100%.
And what do you think of his advice? Can you get away from
nothing
them?
seals a couple together like the stress of a newborn baby.
Well, here's the
I'll
only
tell you
advice
what.
I will give, having done this several times. Put an ocean between you.
Oh, that'd be actually a great comedy album name.
Put an ocean between you.
It's pretty fucking. There's something beautiful about that.
Sure.
Well, we have our 3 pieces of advice now. Only one takes into account your financial security after the decision is made.
Do not advocate for one advice at this point. We will do that in Act 3.
No. I'm not advocating. I'm just stating a fact.
You will be cited if you continue down
I'm
this
sorry.
road.
I didn't think stating facts was advocacy. Is that what's happening now?
It was a biased statement of
It
facts.
sounds like
you know that.
we
and
don't
you've
go to
been-
break. We
you
don't go
have
to
been
break with
informed.
this lobbying.
Well, it sounds like a pretty conservative idea if you think that me stating a fact is somehow advocating for a particular
We
position.
will be back in the next act.
gonna say.
Ben will be censured.
I yield.
And we will have.
I yield to the floor.
We will determine a winner of this episode of Advice Fight. Stay tuned.
Llegaron los nuevos McCrispy Strips, listos para aventurarse en la mezcla de mayo ketchup, la barbecue que quedó en el fondo de la cajita, hot fudge sundae y en la nueva creamy chili McCrispy Strip Dip. Los nuevos McCrispy Strips, ahora en McDonald's. Para pa pa pa.
We are back. It is the third act of Advice Fight, the verdict. In the break, I actually appealed to the House Appropriations Advice Fight Committee about Ben's blatant, biased lobbying for himself in the second act recap of Advice.
Okay.
And they agreed that, Ben, yours was a biased lobbying, not a recitation of facts. And as a punishment, we have to do the next episode of Advice Fight outside, and you don't get to wear shoes.
That's
strident.
That is ridiculous.
Andrew, I'm thinking a parking lot, preferably sunny. Midday. We'll see how it shakes
Lots
out.
of gravel, lots of broken
The
glass.
Appropriations Committee has been suspect for
Half
years.
of
The
a
whole
hot dog.
process
Oh,
has
keep
been
talking
fraught
about that,
with
Ben.
problems.
Keep talking about that. They'll take your
Yeah.
sunscreen away, bud.
You're gonna babble that all the way to that parking lot, my friend.
I'm telling
All
you,
right.
very few people recognize them. It's sad to see what they've become. It's a defunct organization, and I
have
don't-
filed Adam's appeal. There are now 2 appeals in the history of Advice Fights.
If you are a third actor and you are just joining us without having listened to the first and second act, thank you for joining us. Basically, we have a letter from a writer wondering when is the right time to either get married or to step out of a relationship they feel has sort of halted, that it is not moving forward in any direction anymore. And
It's the Grolix career of relationships.
exactly. It's similar to our relationship where I feel like I want more from these two.
We can't get or give more.
I don't believe that, because I see you get and give more to your relationships and to other people in your life, but not to me. And so I know you're capable of it, but that's fine. We'll talk about that off air, maybe on the drive to your parents' house this weekend.
Oh, that's such a good time for these.
Yes.
Oof, what a great time
It's a great
for
time.
the old
We
sabotage
have the conversation
combo.
in the car before we go to your parents.
Mhm.
That's
And
a
then
good move.
nothing's tense. Nothing's
That's a
tense.
nice
And the day
move.
doesn't last.
Oh, it's a couple days.
40 fucking years is what it feels. God, I miss those about being in marriages. Those arguments that come right before you arrive somewhere. Though that's the thing I really miss.
Yeah, and then you got to go into the party. Oh, hey.
Yeah.
I like a good unaddressed argument that just sort of sits as tension for 3 days.
Yeah,
That's
you get
kind of a
interrupted
nice
by
one.
something, and so it's just hanging, and you're like, oh yeah, how do I revisit an argument?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Furthermore, you just come running into the bedroom. Lastly,
We all gave our advice. Adam
just
gave,
a quick recap. Yeah,
Yep.
recap your advice.
Adam,
I will recap my advice.
Adam was like, call your bluff. Call the
Shit
bluff.
or get off the pot. It's time. Call their bluff. Demand concrete action. That was my advice.
Mine
We
is
said-
seek financial security afterwards and
show,
give them
The
the
Ultimatum.
ultimatum on the television show, The Ultimatum. Also, if you watch the show, they give you a cool gold chalice to drink out of throughout
It's
the whole
sad
show.
to get these windows into what you're doing with
Yeah,
your time.
of all the things you could be watching,
you like
Ben,
it's
if you
like
need show recs.
They make it everybody,
just
and it's
ask.
a really smart branding thing because they've been selling them at Target. too. So, and I got to believe you get a piece of that. Andrew?
My advice was to seize the reins. I was joking about sabotaging the birth control. Don't do that. That's a
Oh,
fucked up
really?
thing to do.
Joking?
No.
You cannot
Yeah,
throw
I
advice.
put a little joke in there.
No.
But
Well,
No.
I'll be talking
if you
to
didn't
the
think that was a joke, then
Appropriations
you're
Committee.
a sick person.
Oh, yeah,
but
we're the sick person.
in terms of like proposing, that's absolutely something that you can do. You can just say, I'm ready and I want this. And
you propose the question, and if they're not ready, you get out.
yeah, you can
So
seize
basically,
control of it.
Adam's
If you're
advice, I'm the
waiting
only
to be
one.
proposed to, if
Can I
you're
ask you
waiting
to-
for that, then you're both kind of just waiting in that holding pattern. Just
Can I ask you
seize
both
it.
this
Seize it.
question? When this person, their partner says no and is not interested, and they are literally thrown out on their duffs, what do they
know? You don't know the dynamic. You don't know what their financial situation is. You don't know.
They're
Yeah,
living
you don't know
together.
who's going out on the
partner
duff.
out on
They're
their
living
duff.
together.
Yeah, you don't know who's going out on the
They
duff.
are living together.
You-
There is
you
going to
don't
be
know.
a financial hit that happens, and you have got to figure out a way to
They can
you
go
believe
on
it?
the new
Some of
show
those
Out on Your
financial
Duff. There's the
shortcomings.
new show Out on Your Duff where you've been kicked out.
hosted by Hillary Duff, and it's Out on Your Duff.
It's people who've been kicked out after delivering an ultimatum in a relationship, which is what happens 100% of the time.
Are forced to fight through a series of challenges for one apartment. It's
Yeah.
called capitalism.
No,
All right. Well, we have our
advice.
Yep.
We can't vote for ourselves. Ooh, in the case of a tie, we'll have to unearth producer Ron.
All right, Adam, you vote first. You're up.
This is very hard for me because both of you gave my advice and then threw something else on top. Ben, you gave my advice and then you're like, oh, and also if you're vulnerable, why don't you fall into the loving arms of reality television?
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what I said. Which
That
is what I've
seems-
done. Which is what I've done, and I think it's working out pretty great for me. I feel.
And Andrew, you gave my advice, but you said something you said something which was actually good. Like you could ask to be married. You could ask them to marry you. But then you did. Then you
said
did
that and so surprised.
I was genuinely surprised. But then you immediately negated it with this silly. Like,
I made a
trick them.
joke.
No,
I made
this-
a joke.
you're
So
saying that now,
sorry
the
that in the
spirit-
comedy podcast, I
No.
added a funny little joke.
As someone who's made jokes with you for 2 decades, Ben, that's 20 years.
What's an
I know
arcade?
what I know.
Like, what is an arcade? What amount of time is that? You know,
I know when you're making a
or
joke, and you presented both
barricade.
options as
How
kind of
many-
equal. You really did. It wasn't clear that the other one was a joke, so it was a misfire on a joke by you. At the best case scenario, you misfired on that joke.
It was not
which
a
makes me
misfire.
angry
I was
and-
playing
and
it.
punitive.
I was playing it straight. Wow. Okay.
I don't know what
I'm
makes
not gonna,
me more mad: bad advice or bad jokes. And you're kind of guilty of both.
Oh, bullshit. Great advice, good joke is what I gave.
That's the name of your album.
Yep. That's great advice, good joke. Singular.
And so I was ready to hand it to you because you had some good stuff, but then you just sassed me right there at the end. I'm going to give it to Ben, even though it's stupid and I hate it.
Yes.
I don't need it handed to me from you, so that's fine.
Cool.
Wow.
Fine. Great.
Good.
This is. I
Glad
hate
you're happy
seeing
with it.
this because I think there are a lot of really strong parts of you two and your relationship.
Stop. No one likes you.
You have to vote for one of us.
There it is. Okay. There it is.
God, that one hit hard. Oh, God. Okay, my turn. Yeah, this is hard. I think of the two pieces of advice, man, this is difficult. So I like Andrew's advice. I do think you can flip the script. There's not this need to adhere to antiquated gender roles of one person depending
I
on their
love that
gender.
advice too, but then he negated it by presenting
Exactly.
the fucking birth thing.
And
if
the
that
birth
was a
control
joke,
thing.
it was a terrible joke. He didn't deliver it.
I think he should have just slid in on that and wrote it confidently and been confident. But Adam, if I am being truthful, Adam took the advice that I would give, which is life is too short. If you know what you want and that is something that's important to you, tell them that, give them the ultimatum.
They have been telling them that. What are you talking about? They've
Andrew,
already established that's what they wanted.
You're going to get your chance to chirp in a minute. Okay.
You're just about to make a mistake.
No,
you're about to make a mistake.
I'm giving you a rap on the nose now. I'm giving you a rap on the nose.
Dang.
And now you understand. Do not sass me. Okay. Anyway,
I was going to offer you a cool deal to win, but now that you talk to me like a dog, I'm not going to.
I wasn't talking to you, dog. I was talking to you like a partner. That's why I'm single.
A rap on the nose. Okay. Well, we've uncovered some.
And that's why I'm still single.
Oh, rap on the nose.
Oh, the rolled up newspaper's not doing you any favors.
Adam, I do think that this people will ask me all the time my advice on getting sober. They'll be like, when should I get sober? And I'm like, right now is a pretty good sign you need to. You're just messaging a stranger, asking them that. That's probably a sign you need to. I think Adam was correct in that. I think that this is a sign you are ready to make a change when you're messaging 3 fucking comedians on a podcast.
Yeah, but let me put an asterisk there. If you say this, people aren't going to send us letters about real shit anymore.
Andrew, is that asterisk a joke or are you being serious?
Yeah, for real.
That?
We can't tell because you're bad at giving advice and jokes.
Right, right.
So,
yeah, my true advice was to sabotage birth control. You two are so fucking stupid. You're so fucking dumb.
Why don't you go to Costco and buy a fucking crate of Tic Tacs?
No, I'm not going to do that, Adam, because that was a joke. Again,
Adam,
I wasn't being serious.
Yeah, you don't buy too many snacks and candies.
Adam, I don't know where we're going anymore. Adam, my vote would be for you. I think that was the advice I would have given right off the bat. And I think that is the correct advice.
The advice was to have the conversation and listen to another empty promise and wait some more.
Hey, Ben, when people ask you from now on, like, hey, when should I get sober when they message you? You should just start throwing out arbitrary dates. You should just hit them with a date August 7 months from now.
4th, 2026. I think you power through drinking up until that point. I think that's the date that's going to give you the best success.
Just go and
an entire year over a year.
The winds and all the signs and come back with a date.
I want you to go full all out for 1 year from now, as hard as you can. And then on that date, stop cold turkey. Mm-hmm. And I mean, if this is daily drinking, stop immediately. Don't go to a doctor. All right. Andrew, you're up.
It's my turn to vote, and I'm in the unenviable position of having to vote for one of you two, which will crown you the winner. My choice is actually easy because I didn't like either one of your advices. So I can simply vote politically and vote for the person who's currently in last, which is Ben. Yes. So congrats, Ben. Enjoy your win. Enjoy eking your way up the standings.
I want to tell, I don't know if anybody's keeping track of this, but I am only winning because of political moves between you and Adam. I don't think I've won every one of these as a move because, and I'll tell you what, I'll take a W any way I can get.
You got a tie win because Maria Thayer blatantly violated the rules of advice fight and voted for all 3 of us. So you do have that as well.
Oh, I have a third. So where am I at, Andrew?
Third of a win.
What's my numbers now?
Total wins. Let me count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're 5 total.
5
wins.
and 1/3.
No, I counted the
ties.
ties.
Will you save us some time and put the date that this is going to air? You
gave me the tie
we'll
as
get our plugs ready.
Well, I counted as a win for all of us.
Okay,
yeah, we each get a win. Yeah.
Yep.
So what are the numbers at, Ben or Andrew? I'm sorry. Recap.
Okay, Ben's at 5. Let me count you up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Adam is at 4 wins.
Ben's at 5 and I'm at 4.
Yeah.
1, 2.
Well, We're tied technically because he gave me the Maria one.
No, counting Adam's win. Adam is at 4, counting the tie.
That's true. You're just bad at this. And then Andrew?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm at 6.
6, 5, 4. Fuck.
Mm-hmm.
We're already fucking 19 episodes in.
We're gonna have to do like an end of the season. We're gonna have to like have a season championship, and then we can reset the records.
Producer Ron literally bounced his face off of the microphone when he heard my math.
He likes
I'm
a good
not
math
stupid,
joke.
Ron. I know it's 12. Anywho.
This has been another great episode of Vice Fight. Ben, congratulations on your latest pity win.
Just a second. I'd like to take a minute to thank some people, and I drafted up a little bit.
I didn't realize you two were tied. I probably would have voted for Adam had I actually crunched the numbers. But
thanks, Andrew.
That's
too
next
bad.
time you took your finger off the piece, and so I've got it. And I would like to thank, God, because Jesus
Not
ain't
Jesus.
helping.
Right.
Jesus
We're hearing
ain't
the
helping.
wrap-up
He's
music
just slowing
already.
the process. You know, he put Jesus in charge. You know what happened? A lot of I want to hug you and a lot of washing of feet and bullshit like that and fish and shit like that. And he was raining acid and he was killing kids. It was fucking cool as fuck. So fucking shout out to God.
Yeah.
Nice,
Big
Ben.
thanks to our letter writer. Thank you for bringing this problem to us. I know that Adam and Ben were teasing you about bringing it to 3 comedians. Why not bring it to 3 comedians? Why not?
Yeah, you did the right thing. And again, I think we are all in agreement. Not a word again. I think we are all in agreement. Just say what you want. And if they do not want the same thing, life is too short. There are a lot of other people out there. You will find somebody that matches you, as hard as that is. But
Happiness is hard.
That's rock hard. As you said, if you would like us to tackle your advice, you can be anonymous or not. Send us your letter. We love new letters. If you've sent us a letter and we haven't addressed yours yet, it doesn't mean that we hate it. We just have a healthy backlog of letters we're working through. We try to keep them thematically interesting. So don't worry, your letter's coming. Most likely.
More.
It's coming down the pipe.
Maybe write a more interesting letter. Maybe
Ben,
you should
stop it.
take a long, hard look in the mirror at whether or not you're interesting. And that's something that
stop it.
Guys,
what do you guys have
plugs?
to plug? It's
Yeah.
summertime.
What do we got
Jinx,
to
you
plug?
owe me a plug. You like what I did there?
Adam, just what do you have coming
I
up?
have nothing right around these dates. So what I would like to do is let people know in Northern California, I'm doing that little Grindhouse comedy run that you did before, Ben. I'm going to be playing
Great
Petaluma, Sacramento, and Oakland. So if you live in those areas, come on out. I believe I'm there the 10th, 11th, 12th. It's all on my calendar. It'll be down there in the show notes.
That run of shows is so good. It is so fun. You're going to have a blast.
I'm excited to be out there. I haven't been to that area in a while. So come on out to shows now and buy those tickets. They're on sale currently. Love to see you out in NoCal. Ben, what do you got?
If you're listening to this on June 10th when it comes out, if I'm correct, that's when it comes out.
I'll do the math. You're correct.
I just wanted to hype. If you are listening to that, I will be at Laughs in Tucson, Arizona, June 20th and 21st. Little comedy club in the desert. Always fills up when I'm down there, and it is always greatly appreciated. So get your tickets now. And then, let's grab a slice of pizza. There's a really great pizza spot right downtown. I love Tucson. I love trashy little Tucson, Arizona. I can't help it. I like it. It suits me. It's Dusty. Andrew, what do you got?
It's in your blood. Ben Roy and I are co-headlining down in Colorado Springs. That show got bumped. It got bumped to the 22nd. June 22nd. See us at Colorado Springs at Oscar Blues. That'll be a good time. Also, I have 2 new games coming out. If you like games, if you're a nerd like me, go to my site, occupiedhex.com. These games will be coming out. One, they could already be launched by the time you're hearing this. We'll see. But go there. You can sign up for my newsletter. Be informed when each game drops.
And
Gamers, get Andrew's new stuff. They're very cool
it's
things.
Super cool. And as always, June 28th, the Grolix live show. That's going to be happening at the world famous Bug Theater. Tickets are on sale for that now, so make sure you get your tickets. This month
Kiri
is insane.
Shabazz, Joshua Emerson, and Babs Gray just got added to the bill. It's gonna
Oh
be
my
a fun
God.
one.
Holy crap.
Shit, what a lineup. That's going to be a massive show. So get your tickets to those and all of those. We put our links to our pages down below, so make sure you check that out.
I want to thank producer Ron for doing the bare minimum of editing on this one. We appreciate it, Ron, and we hope we helped you out by giving you a fluid, seamless episode. I'd like to thank Mike Henderson for your help with the live show, Plan 9 Sound. Thanks for taping the audio that we use in all of our clips.
Big shout out to Charlie Continental for your help recording at the live show. You can follow us everywhere.
Charlie Continental does not record at the live
No.
show. You're just in a fugue state. Charlie Continental makes the sweet banging tunes that we use to get the kids hooked on the product.
Well, that's going to be an edit. I am so
No.
sorry, producer.
No
Ron.
edits.
You're
No,
not editing that.
I edited it for you.
God.
It's fine.
But
It's okay.
But Charlie does do some of the sound at the live show, right?
I think
guys?
it's important to show our listeners that mid-40s is early onset dementia time, and you need to
It's
notice some
never
of the
too
signs.
early to go to a home. It's the
It's never too early to put your friend in a home.
Yeah. And that's some hard truths, Craig, and I've got to admit that to myself.
So, Benny Boy, why don't you pack up the 10 things you have into a box, and we're going to come over there pretty soon.
The 10 things.
You can follow
He's
us
got
anywhere.
the classic white cardboard box, like when you're fired
You got
in a
fired
movie.
from a temp job. You got a plant.
And I just walk into a pre-dug grave. Big. You can give us a follow at Grolix Comedy on all social medias, on all the platforms at Grolix Comedy. And follow us on Patreon, patreon.com/Grolix Saves for perks and additional items and birthday shout outs and boy crazy and juiciness. Otherwise, we're going to be back next week with another episode of Advice Fight where it will qualify as an episode. We will do all the requisite things to make it a podcast.
And if we
episodes.
don't, you know I will fly it up to the House Appropriations Committee of Advice Fight.
And that's a Grolix guarantee. Thanks, y'all. Play us out, Charlie.
We're here to help you mostly just fine. Advice Fight. I'm thinking wrong 'cause I know I'm right.